So I've been trying to stay mindful about using this Xyron 1.5 inch creative sticker because I have 2 sets and I've been trying to use the rolls up, and then I also have like 3 more refills. So in trying to do this binder set, I'm probably gonna add these. I don't know that I thought of it real well, but I'll probably add some wax paper. I do have wax paper remnants, or I'll just try and put them as maybe the words together, like cut them up and then leave them like that until I'm ready to use them, especially since this one's really delicate. I'm gonna put it through this Xyron sticker maker really carefully, and then I want to go ahead and stick it to the notebook. Hopefully I don't tear this. Okay. Stick it to my notebook like this onto the composition notebook without doing anything to it yet, because it was super delicate and I don't want it to tear, and I think this way it'll give it some reinforcement. So I'm gonna take one of those adhesives that I cut in half, and I'm going to stick, hopefully it will stick, because it's not gonna stick. So this is gonna be a challenge. I don't know what to do. Oh, well, here, look. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and, there we go. I'm gonna try and stick it to that plastic that overhangs, because that can stick to it. Anything sticks to that stuff. And that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it on there, and that'll be the way that this will hold on to itself. I can put it a little bit under these die cuts, and they'll be held together too by whatever's hanging over the, oh, I just bent that. That's gonna stay there. I don't know that I'll do the same with these, or if I'm just gonna add this to my gold sticker sheet set, because these are pretty generic shapes. They're not really having to do with this, well, I mean, they're part of this line, but I'm okay with putting these elsewhere because they're now gonna be stickers. So with that being said, I might not do this to all of them, but I know that I can be able to use this and make stickers out of my die cuts, and or also, see, I had 2 of them overlapping, so I didn't want to cut the anchor, even though I probably won't use anchors at all. So that's my solution for these, the ones that feel more delicate to me. I'm just gonna add this, add them through the sticker maker if they're small enough, and then so this is a bit more difficult. It's not as fast, but I'm not worried about that because I know that I'm putting stuff together that I want together. So that's gonna stay there. And I'll probably do this to these 2 right here, and this will go into the sticker binder itself. So I'll probably cut it in half to not make it as long, and then these will end up as stickers in my sticker binder. So continuing on, I had this Lucky Charm project mini kit, and then I also have cut out Project Life cards with icons that I thought I could use for some of my paper pads, because I don't have die cuts or ephemera for all of them, or stickers, what have you. So I ended up cutting out some Project Life cards because I knew that I could use them for my scrapbooking. And so these are gonna essentially be my own ephemera for this line. So that's what I have started here. I also cut some out in some shapes because that also looks like ephemera. And since I have them in different color, if it doesn't emphasize a number, then I'm just gonna flip it over. I might just do it like that. But I punched out some, and then I cut some out of the Project Life cards so that they would be like ephemera, so they would coordinate with the paper packs. And this is just extra Project Life cards. I got a big core kit of this one, so there's like 8 cards of them, and you can make different shapes. And then these don't have to just be sitting in a box, in this box, and then I can get rid of this and it frees up places in my scrapbook area. And I know that I have stamp sets to some of the Dear Lizzy stuff, but some of it is very generic, and I can find that I can stamp something or stamp it on a different... I'm gonna finish my thought before I go on to something else. I got cut off by the battery in my camera to explain that we can take punches from our simple embellishments and add dimension to them by adding pieces of chipboard or layering them. We can add brads with another flower punch. We can add dimension by adding foam and also inking them. That adds dimension. And then if you add foam to this, it'll be an embellishment in and of itself. There's tons of stuff that you can use to make them, to pretty them up and to make them look different, even though they're just punches. So that was going to be my thought there, and that I didn't get to finish. So these are all cutouts from Project Life. So that's what I did with these, and it helps me use up my Project Life in a different Project Life cards in a different way, because I really don't do Project Life the way it's intended. I bought these kits strictly for the fact that I like the patterns and the paper, and I do see embellishments like this. Like, this is not the same collection kit, but if I see, and especially in the original box itself, if I see stuff like this that I know I can cut out, like those cameras, or cut out the title, stuff like that gives me ideas to make embellishments for myself for collections that I don't have. With that being said, I also take things from the paper pack itself, the paper pad, especially when I don't have embellishments for them, and I cut them out. Like, these tickets would be something that I would use, so I would probably end up cutting these and putting them in here as part of ephemera. And not only that, if I remember cutting them, which is more than likely what'll happen, is I can say, oh, I have a paper like this in my paper pad, and so that'll also help me create. It inspires creativity for me. So not only would this be something that I can use for scrapbooking per se, but I also have things like these. These will probably be big ephemera, but they'll still be ephemera nonetheless. I think I kept these two because they have the 3 and the 4, but since they're not double-sided, I could probably cut it up anyway and use it as an embellishment where there's 3 of us and now there's 4 of us. So before my youngest was born, and then after, so it could be also I'm getting inspiration to think of stories like before my son was, the last one was born, and after my youngest was born, and so that inspires stories too. So what I was going to say is that the paper pad, I don't know that this has many, but like these can be cut out and used as ephemera, especially if I have doubles. Most of this wouldn't be for me, but I could still use it. This would be fun to cut up and use as ephemera. And that's what I do, because I don't have any other embellishments from this, I don't think. I would love to cut these out also. These would make a great village, and I know I have other types of houses. I want to invest in a stamp that has different houses. That would be nice. But even if you cut it out with the stuff that it says here, no place like home, so much love, here with you, or even take inspiration from your paper as you're making your kit, and those can be titles for your pages. So even that in of itself, flipping through this, looking for ephemera to cut out like that, then this would be lovely to cut out too. I can already see myself fussy cutting that and putting them in there. Here's some littler ones that I can use. I can punch out the edges like a stub punch. That's one of my favorites. I also have a smaller, the EK Success with a different punch. You can also cut these out. I can even make this one smaller by cutting out just the what do you call that? What is that thing called? clipboard. I couldn't think of it. So the rest of these are more like background scent. I don't know that I would cut this just to get the hearts, but there's plenty of other things that we can cut, or that I can cut, in order to make this more ephemera. And then also it would cut down on the number of pages that I have. And actually, I don't have 48 of these because I gave half of it to my friend already. So that would even cut down more on my pages that I have left over. So I already did Fifth and Frolics. That is what this line is. I would probably cut these out, so I'd leave those there. I didn't check the Lucky Charm one. So even though I probably should have already had this out and check through it before I continue on, that's what I'm going to do with all the other paper pads, is go through them. And maybe that'll be a project that I have, because this isn't something that I'm going to finish in one day. And so this is just paper scraps. So that'll go in a, I don't know if I want to separate my paper scraps from my paper pads just yet, but I'm going to do the same thing. These could be embellishments. Or if I cut just like a grouping of them, they could be arrows. Let's see here. Probably not borders. I wouldn't do that. But these jars would be embellishments in and of them themselves. And this is actually 8.5 by 11 paper. So I put all the papers from the collections that I had together, because this comes from like an American Crafts paper pack that had them all stacked together. So that's one of the things that I wanted to bring in and talk about, is that this is my plan also to kind of get bulk out of my paper pad area and strictly try and make these just the paper pad or just the scraps together. But like I said, even this right here, you can punch out into a banner shape, and that would make a it says "You Make My Heart Sing," but even this piece, it's the part that holds it to the paper pad. If we make it into a banner shape, that's ephemera. So I look to find ways that I don't use these paper strips all the time, but if I find little things like this, I can use this to my advantage, especially since I don't have ephemera or stickers or chipboard that I know of. But I can certainly use this or extra paper, you know, extra, and make tags like this. Like, I can cut it out of something. I can trace this, or I have a tag punch. I have different size ones, and I can make my own embellishments. I now have the little envelope maker punch also, or even letters. You can make letters out of different things. So here's some more that I've cut up. So I have a double page of this one. And like I said, since I already went through this stack, I don't think I have very much of this. But I do know, see, this one has hearts, and it also says "You Make Me Happy When Skies Are Gray." I can make these into 2 banners, and I would have ephemera or labels or tags, what have you. So that's a double of this one. This one, I could cut out a whole row of these and make that ephemera, or 2, or actually, like, I would honestly cut that many. And then if I finished this paper pack, I could move these on to just separating them by color. They can be used for Valentine's Day. They can be used for anything, card making. So then I would be extending my inventory, my stash, because I don't even know if I have jars for the Lucky Charm. I'm pretty sure I do. I have some there, and that would probably remind me, but I would want to add more. And since I already started here, they're going to have to come back to Lucky Charm after this again. And I don't mind, it's all Dear Lizzie. And then another thing that I noticed is that I had this Project Life cut out, but I also liked this side and the way it made a tag. So I'm going to make another tag of these because I have extra Project Life cards. So don't forget to look at the back as you're cutting your shapes or punching out your shapes, that the other side might end up also looking like something that you like as ephemera. So that's what I have for now. I'm going to cut this up, and I'm going to stick some on there, and I'm also going to do the same for the jars, the mason jars. And I'm gonna do this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back.